Hello, I'm live. We're telling your followers that you've started a live video. I'm here. Oh my goodness. This is live and it's Quip. And right, this is good. It's all happening. It's all happening. I've slightly forgotten. Abbi Waxman is going to be joining us from LA, and I'm told that in LA it's by my people that it's morning. Oh, she's there. Okay, she's there. She's there. She's joined. Just remind me what I do. Abbi Waxman has joined. You'd think I'd be calmer about this, and then another thing happens. And then I press it. There are okay. Abbi sent a request. So and then I press go live. Oh God, this is just so exciting. I'm sorry to bring everyone into this. We're waiting for Abbi Waxman. Is all official. Quit Prize has started a live. Hey, she's there.
I'm there in my car.
Abbi. Oh, you see, because I was just sharing with the community. Oh, we're so excited to meet you, Abbi.
I'm very excited to. Oops, sorry.
Are you in a drive-in? Are you having a coffee or something?
No, well, it's worse than that, I'm afraid, Helen. It is that I am sitting outside the DMV.
What's
waiting.
The DMV? Because I'm in London.
Oh, it's the driving license place.
Okay, fine. Yep, that makes sense.
And waiting for my daughter to go take her driving test.
Yep. Oh, that's a big moment.
Exactly. And I suddenly was like, wait, where am I going to do this interview?
Yes.
I'm in the middle of middle of LA in the street.
But you're
so I've come back to my car.
So
sorry about that.
We all need to know about this. With the driving test, is that ongoing now?
No, I'm literally sitting in the car that she's going to take the test in.
Yeah.
And then, so at any moment, I could suddenly move out of the car and be standing in the sunshine because she's come and taken the car from me to take her driving test.
Okay, understood. You just look
It's
so
all
settled.
a big cluster.
It's
all a big cluster. Sorry.
Okay, no, this is what happens when we're overexcited. You're doing multitask. It seems that you do have the perfect life, Abbi, and I'm trying to say that in a good way, like without any jealousy at all. But you're first of all, I'm waving this, so we'll keep talking until your daughter claims the car.
Yes.
And then is that right?
And then I'll just stand and walk around. Yeah, I mean it's in the sunshine.
So so you won't just hope the daughter does. Well, she needs the car. The car is important. How can she take the test? So here we have your lovely, lovely book. I've got some markers in. This is such a wonderful book. I know you've got another one coming out, haven't you?
Yeah, another one came out last week or the week before.
Yes.
And I just finished the next one on Friday.
So do you have do you just write every second of the day? How do you produce this? Do you just, everyone wants to know how you do it. And also, I absolutely love the narrative voice, just to say. But so how many hours do you sit nicely in the kitchen? Let's have some background about your process.
It's a constant cluster. Again, that word. I'm trying not to swear.
Can you just remind me what cluster means?
Clusterfuck. It's a clusterfuck.
Good.
Meaning, just a general chaotic, disastrous, everything getting messed up. That's what my life is like. So the fact that you think that it's perfect is hilarious.
Okay, but also you're a fast thinker. So you think, so you raise your game each time with another thing coming in. So you could probably write 2 books at once, maybe next time, just to kind of challenge yourself. You kind of got quick. Is this?
I like that you're pushing me. I need that.
I've got to calm down. I just get so excited when I talk to writers. So your process, just for other people to experience your cleverness.
The process is that I like to work early in the morning.
Yeah.
So I get up and I take my kids to school and I go to work and I work usually for about 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
And then that's
coffee?
it. That's
coffee?
Constant coffee. Yep. Usually directly into an IV. And then I cover myself with caffeine all day, just like cream based. And then obviously this being California, lots of pot, obviously pot everywhere.
Oh my God, you're the just most exciting. I feel like a girl guide in comparison. There's so many things I need to ask, and also about the book. But okay, when did you go to LA? Were you writing books in London? I mean, England, wherever you were.
No. So I left England in 91. I've been here a really long time now, and because my mother is American, so I have both citizenship. So it's actually it was easier. I left in '91. I was working in London, and I got fired, and the recession hit,
God,
and so I pissed off to New York
popular.
because it was easier to get a job there.
That makes you really popular, because as a very successful copywriter, what was fascinating is I can't understand why you were fired. There's something in your bio about wearing casual clothing, or
No.
we're not allowed to say.
No, I'll tell you the truth. The truth is that I got fired because I came to work while still coming down from an acid trip, which is not advisable.
Oh my God! This is like those stories that you hear people that I've always fantasized about telling. That aren't you like, oh, I got what was it, that thing when you get sent down from Oxford for having
for terrible behaviour?
And I fantasize about that happening to me, which it didn't. So wait, you are coming down off an acid trip while writing excellent copy for like the top companies in the land. And how did they know that you were you sort of shouting or jumping?
I looked at, because I was not in any way still on acid. No. I was just having gone through, I was horribly hungover. Yes. I basically looked like I had the worst hangover you've ever seen in your life. And I showed up and just basically, I lived in Kentish Town. Yes. And I worked near Putney Bridge. So I had to take the number 22 all the way, or was it 11, all the way down, feeling like flash fried shit in the rain on a Monday morning. And when I got there, it was patently apparent to everybody in the room that I was in no fit shape. And
they must have realized how good you are. How could they let you, you're obviously scoring.
No, I was like 20. I was like 20 at the time. I was useless. So they bounced me. And I don't blame them at all. And then I moved to New York and got a job there because they had already come out of that recession, and so there was work. So I moved there.
With the same company, so you could wave two fingers up with the very short-sighted company who sacked you? Or I mean,
no, and I really think they should have sacked me before, honestly. I was not doing a good job. I was being very badly behaved and young and foolish. But now I'm old.
There was money. So. Yes, get that. So there's money in the industry, and because you are hitting your targets, because now you come from two parents that obviously no, there's no obviously about anything nowadays. Whoops. They're both of your parents. They are writers, isn't it? True. Yeah. And what's interesting, going back to, oh my God, I really like you. I wish you could be my friend, but obviously live in LA, it's not possible. But with
come and visit.
I'm booking because, well, when I get with my mask, but with the Nina Hill character that is adorable, and one can say adorable in a strong way without it being patronizing, the other word endearing, which is a difficult word for women, but she becomes endearing in spite of one not wanting to use that word, right?
Yes.
So with your own background, you say quite happily, or somebody else does, that your father dashed off or to get some cigarettes and didn't come back. Right. Now, does that inform this character's strange? Can you just describe how Nina, her relationship with her mother and her nanny, Louise?
Yes. So her mother, so she's never aware, she never knew that obviously she knew she had a biological father somewhere, but he was never discussed. And her mother never talked about him. And so her mother is a photographer who traveled the world and put her career first. And she hired an exceptionally good nanny to take care of Nina when she was little. Because I wanted to write about, well, first of all, what I find funny is when people comment on the mother's character, they're always like, how could she do such a thing? But if I'd written that character as her father, and I said that her father had deserted her to go and have a huge career, no one would have cared about it. It would have been a completely reasonable thing.
That's really well.
So I wanted to write a mother who put a career first, and she's a creative woman, and she's a photographer, and she needs to follow her dream, But that wasn't great for Nina.
But also, what I really liked was you follow the follow through is that as a child she has a box where she puts photographs of potential optional fathers, and I particularly like the detail where the nanny laminates them. And so this brings us on to my own particular interest in your interest in stationery. We are jumping about, but I do like that point. I take that role gender point, I'm taking it on the chin, absorbing it, and it's still it is a different prism, it's a different prism, because I thought, without thinking it through, that's quite an extreme setup, in that it's totally made acceptable emotionally, which is interesting. It's just an interesting setup where she doesn't sort of mourn not having the father there in that way. It's all quite cheerfully done, or but that's your narrative tone.
Some single parents, you know, do so much of a better job than two parents that, you know, that's just the way it goes. But she was lucky. She has a nanny who, you know, really put her needs first and was a good fit for her. She was also into books. She was also into quiet activities. And so it worked really well.
Yeah, exactly. So you could say the mother did an amazing job by recruiting the absolute perfect being, because sometimes there's a thought that a child shouldn't be owned even by 2-3 parents, you know, that it doesn't belong. It's the environment. Where were we? So we've got stationery. Is your daughter wanting to come into the car? I'm slightly concerned about your car.
The thing about the American DMV, or Department of Motor Vehicles, is that it is sort of Soviet-esque, and you sort of get a number, and then you put in a line, and you may never be heard from again. I mean, it's you know, people go in and never come out. So
you're in line.
She's in line somewhere inside this building.
And is it her first test? I know I'm segueing, but I'm starting.
It's her first test. She's going to fail. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. And may I just say, tell her from me, should that outcome be the one, that the best people fail. We know in life.
I'll tell her. I failed the first time.
And your best people fail. My daughter failed 3 times, I think, and cried a lot. And I got mine on my second, but it was easier to pass because you didn't have to do the post office bit, the thing.
Right.
Now, with Nina Hill, oh my God. So now people are saying there's so many questions about it. So we've got the relationship. It's the narrative voice. It's the humor. I just think that, okay, there's another Lady Chatterley moment. I don't want to spoil it for all our readers. There are questions, but I'm not even reading them. But do ask questions. So we have to wait until we get to about, so it's all built up, pace. You start to love the character, that it settles, it's intriguing, it's gentle, it's witty. Perfect. And then it suddenly gets really rude. It gets really rude. And that's like you, because I've never met you before, but you're really rude. And when they, it's so rude on page 37.
The sort of sexy part?
Where they
it's not really
dick pics. The dick pics. I was taken
aback.
Oh,
the dick pics.
Thank you.
Dick pics,
I was just going, it just took me by, so many of these things, there's no sort of, it's like waiting for Lady Chatterley. I prepared this, so obviously I'm getting this bit wrong. But you know that thing where you just, people like your parents' books, and then you try and find the sexual bit, you know, like The Naked Ape or something. Did you ever read The Naked Ape by Jasmine
you like
Morris?
flip through.
Yeah, the yellow bit.
Yes, and you flip like, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." There's like, you flip through looking. Yeah, of course.
But it just, so she's with her group of friends. Describe how Nina is. Would you say speaking?
Yeah, so they're discussing. She's in her book group, and they're discussing the tendency, alarming tendency, for young men to think it's a good idea to send a picture of their penis to a girl they're interested in, which is a really bad idea. I mean, it's just a super bad idea, because a penis on its own, it's not that good. It's not that good.
It'd be nice if somebody joined the conversation at that precise moment, but
exactly.
This is a seminal.
Wait, I'm getting out of the car because my daughter is actually here. Ready?
Abbi,
You're coming.
Do not leave. Okay, we're with you. I'm covering you. Okay, so Abbi's getting out of the car. The daughter's getting into the car. Hi, good luck. It's all good. It's all good. Said that slight emotion, my voice. Will she be all right? She'll be fine. Do you think she'll be fine, Abbi? She's fine. She'll be fine with the thing. Look, people at the Knitting Pinecone, they said, tell your daughter good luck. We're all wishing her luck from England. Can you hear? She can't hear. Can you hear me, Abbi? Or are you just going? So she's just walking along. Is there any voice? Can you hear? No. No sound? No sound. So Abbi's looking at me and she can't. So is there a thing. Okay, right. So Kath, where's Kath? Oh no, she's gone. Okay, fine. What we're going to do is we're going to I'm going to carry on, because that was possibly one of the most exciting moments, to then suddenly have the internet go down. Where we were, ladies and gentlemen, was we were in the book, and we had got to the point where Abbi Waxman was okay, she's going to come back. This is great. This is great. This is so good. Go live with this is just like, it's, I think it's meant she'll come back that way. Maybe, oh look, I've got so much.
I'm back.
Hey, that's great. You're back. I was just saying to all the lovely people, we had left at that moment where you had conjured the image, the serial image of the dick being separate, like you said.
The body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why men have this idea that their penis is what we're interested in, because it's really not specifically just that. If it was just that, then we would, then we would never speak to them. We would just...
Yes.
Yeah, but there's so much more to them usually than just the penis, but they seem to focus on that, and it's
yes.
They're simple creatures.
And but the way that it came in the book, it was like the conversations, all the different characters, it unfolds. It's it is just such a delight. Did you fall in love with Nina? Did you?
I did.
Because people have described you as a sort of Jane Austen. I don't know the Pride and Prejudice much as I know Emma, but but I know that, didn't Jane Austen, just Googled that before, but I can't remember, sort of, she really loved that character. So to you, is Nina like, you feel you know her when you create a character like that?
Yeah, she felt, well, also she was hanging on. I'm literally going to sit on the side of the street. Here we go. It's a very glamorous life I lead as a writer.
People are saying, I love the fact you're having this conversation loudly in a car park.
I'm so sorry. Am I shouting?
No. I'm shouting. It's just fantastic, Abbi. I just think
there she goes.
So many things. Good luck, because obviously you're dealing with some anxiety, Abbi. Is there some anxiety about her doing taking the test?
No, because she's going to fail. She hasn't been... No, fine. I don't care. She's going to... A little failure is good for people, if she doesn't do the work and then she fails. That's it. That's what happens.
And also, you and I are probably in touch with our sense of failure. I'm jumping around because...
Very much so.
So when you had then... When you... The things... I'm so overexcited. The thing said that you did all these amazing things, copyright, ghostwrite, like ghostwrite for somebody famous. Well, obviously you have to ghostwrite.
Relatively famous. I wouldn't say she was enormously famous, but yes.
Is that gratifying? Was that something that was before you?
Getting paid was super gratifying. Yeah, getting paid is gratifying. Yeah, getting paid is gratifying. That's the most, in case of that, the ghostwriting thing, as I said, the joke I made at the time, which I'm now going to recycle, is that as long as my name is on the check, I don't really care if it's on the book.
No, you should just...
Got to make a living.
Do you do TED Talks? And do you help people like me about being assertive and asking for money? Please, you're too busy. You've got 3 children. So what I was going to say is, with the 3 children, it then, so your life, then we see the word 3 children, and then we see the word all these amazing, funny, witty novels. So is that what happened, or were you writing when you had children?
Yeah. So I always wanted to be a writer. I just realized that I'm sitting in the curb, and there's a person actually in the car.
Are they staring at you? What's happening? You're are you cross-legged?
Yes, but I'm going to move. I'm going to move because this poor chap is probably trying to have a life, and I'm literally sitting there shouting about penises. And
but they're probably impressed that you're shortlisted for the Quip Prize, and they probably want to know about the bookish life of Nina Hill.
I'm sure. He didn't look like he was that interested. I'm going to go over to it. By the way, here how the beautiful.
Oh my God, this is so
Los Angeles
for all of us. Do you love living in LA?
I actually do. It's very, very nice. I'm sitting on the grass now.
Okay, good.
It's very, very nice and sunny, and the weather is sort of predictable. but strangely, I find I do miss the rain, and when it rains, I get very excited and go and stand in it. But
because it's refreshing. And in your novel with Nina, she has this hatred of West LA, like
she does.
hatred. Why is that? You're quite an extreme person. You know your thoughts, you know your feelings. What is so bad about that, and what was so good about the other side?
It's just like north of the river, south of the river in London. It's the same kind of, you don't really, if you live, like I was a Kentish town, Camden, north of the river person, because I went to UCL. So I was all north of the river, and then a really good friend of mine lived south of the river. She lived in Camberwell, and we used to bicker about north of the river people versus south of the river people. It's the same exact thing, East and West LA. The people in West LA, like Santa Monica, Venice Beach, all of that stuff, are very, very different.
They're all words. Nature. All these words just sound so attractive.
But like
we
Santa Monica,
be in the LA world. So this is, I hope this is going to be a film, because if it isn't already, it should be. Do you feel as a person that you've kind of landed somewhere now, that you found your narrative without being too pretentious? Like you know, with 4 books, this is what I've read. Do you feel that you're in a place where there is joy when you write, because you know that, because you're a funny person anyway, you know, you've got that sharpness, but to get that on the page is not easy, is it? I don't know.
No, it's not easy, but it is still the most fun thing I do, you know. And I did it my whole life I wrote fiction in my own time for free for years, and so now that I'm getting paid to do it, it just feels like an enormous piece of luck, you know. I just feel enormously fortunate.
But no, because it's because you're talented, but was it a normal environment, like if your mother was writing all the time? So if your mother was a successful writer, did you do that thing where you go, oh, did you have to strike out to be you? Because sometimes the children of parents who do a similar thing, it's how do you define your character?
Well, I don't know, because she was always so incredibly encouraging of me, and was always about, and I say this to my children too when they work, like, you have to develop your own voice. And so she was always very encouraging to not try and be like anyone else, but to just be like write my own way. You know, she just kept saying, just write what's in your head, and then you just keep doing it, and eventually it gets better. And hopefully I get better with every book I write, you know.
But that's what people need to hear, particularly like in lockdown. People are now reading more. There's a whole community of people writing. And going back to that point you just made a few minutes ago, it's just like the huge pleasure. So you still get off on it, don't you? It's
I love it. I love it. When I'm in the middle of a book, that's all I can think about. Like when I'm which is most of the time, like I finish one and then start the next. And so it's literally all I can think of.
Is that great for a relationship, Abbi, at all? Is it great?
Luckily, my husband is a patient man, and is kind of hoping I'll become so successful that he can quit and that I can take care of him. So he's remarkably supportive.
The respect is for you to do the stuff. Yeah, is that? Or have I said that? Yeah.
Yeah, so and he also supported me. When the first book I wrote, it took me nearly 7 years, because I had 3 kids under 5 in the house at the same time, and so I was squeezing it in. And he worked the whole time and supported me, and never ever said, "Don't, stop writing and go back to advertising and get a salary." He was always like, "This is what you need to do, and I have faith in you, and do it." So for 7 years, he paid all the bills. And
this is correct. I mean, this is understandable. So with 7 years, but with the books now, because
one a year,
writers are going to be listening to this, and it's just heart information for people. Like, how long perhaps how long does it take to write a book for you now, where you're at now in your career?
It takes about, well, depending on how behind I am, it usually takes 4 to 6 months to write the book. And if I go really fast, so like, for example, I try and write the one I just finished, I was in a crunch, and then because I was really late, and then the pandemic started, and I lost a few weeks sorting myself out, because the kids were all at home suddenly. And then
And that one I churned out in like 8 weeks because I just had to.
I just not okay. So cancer has lockdown affected your writing in any way?
Very much so. Very much so, because I usually go out to work and I like to be somewhere quiet, and then I just had to find a new way of doing it, and it took me about a month to just get a new routine going. But once I had it going, it was fine.
Do you write outside the home? So,
normally I go out of the house. Yeah, I can't be in the house because it's just
not sitting by a tree. But I heard that Jeanette Winston, with her, this is what I understood, with when she writes, she needs silence. I need silence because my brain is. What about you? Do you need quiet?
Music? No, I need music. I put a new playlist together for every book, and that's actually a really important part of the beginning of the book, is me trying to find the music that is going to maintain the mood.
It's so inspirational. Wait.
And then I play it all over and over again. I don't even really hear it. It just becomes like the soundtrack of the book. And yeah, it's a really important part of the book.
When you choose the playlist, is that just right? I'm now in the process of writing book number 4, 5, 6, whatever. Or is it this playlist is going to be because I'm writing about, you know, desks that are quite messy and what happens to people when they fall off a chair kind of thing? I mean, do you, whatever your subject is, I mean, do you choose the music to go with the subject, or the music then the subject? That's horribly.
Subject first. I always start with the character. I always start with the main character. That's the thing, that it's all characters. I don't think my plots are particularly good. If anything, a fair criticism of my works is they're not very plotty, right? Not a lot happens in my books.
Did you say
small things happen?
You said plotty. No, I just, oh God, everyone at this is such a, I'm not just saying that because I've got a slight crush on your writing, but it's so well paced. Because you just kind of build. Then by the time you need to come in, you go, right, and it's the kind of book that you'll be so comfortable keep dipping into, because you go, you know, you're going to get it because this is a really well paced.
Thank you.
And that, who am I to say? You know, I've written one.
I try very hard to get the pacing right, and I get a lot of help with that, because it's like I said, I don't feel like it's my strength. Like the right conversations and like dick pic conversations and stuff, that I can write all day. Like that part comes easy to me. But the structuring of the book is hard work for me. But I have a great editor and she helps me. And I usually write by the end about 8 or 9 drafts of the book. So it's, you know, a lot of rewriting.
But everyone now is going to, I think, feel inspired. I'm not just saying that because I'm not a proper interviewer. You know, this isn't what I do normally. But I need to be inspired. I mean, you know, with lockdown, we all need to be inspired, don't you think?
Yeah, so, it's very repressive, this experience, I think, for all of us. It feels very sort of diffuse and hopeless, you know. It just feels like there's no, well, especially in America, and in California, where the numbers of cases are going through the roof, and it's a disaster, and we have an idiot in charge over here, as you may have heard.
I've heard that, actually.
Yeah.
Now it's been endorsed. It's become a fact immediately.
Yeah, I believe we now all agree. I think originally some proportion of America apparently didn't agree, and thought it would be a good idea. But
it must make you feel very powerless. But then also, our in our land, the Kentish town side, you know, it's like we're saying, but we were late. You know, it's like we're all making these comparisons, and then at the end of the day, we've got, when will it end? If you write a book, Abbi, going back within 6 months, I think that is, we're all inspired. Somebody kindly said I should write another book. It's not bad.
You should.
Yeah, but I'm running the Quip Prize. And it's
I know, which is extremely nice of you, and thank you, if I haven't said it already, for creating a prize specifically for funny women, because we look confident, but we need the encouragement.
Totally, and I haven't learned yet not to talk over other people. I'm still really bad at that. But the fact that we relish wit in women, I mean, this is a really exciting time, like proper relish, proper wit, not, you know, it's fine for the commercial books and everything has its place, but the fact that we are really engaging with each other and really just love, I wanted to talk because your daughter, oh please, I've got to know if she passes. Well, if she I don't know what we think, 50-50 now. You might have been doing that thing as a protective mother, going, she's going to fail, so that you don't get disappointed? What do you think? Or is that a bit simple? Or
No,
do you
I just
really
actually don't. I actually don't. Part of me would love her to pass because it'd be so useful to have someone else who could drive.
So happy.
And part of me is like, she's not really good enough,
Ready.
honestly.
But I
you
think
and me.
that we should know, between you and me, the same. I understand that I can't even sit in the car with my daughter driving. I'm going, oops, like that. And
yeah,
my
all the
mother
way
did
down
that.
here, I was like braking every 2 seconds.
But it's normal. My mother did that with me. She was so I think that's a tie.
Yes.
And this is a very difficult time where we have a lot of dreams. Are you having a lot of dreams, by the way, at the moment with lockdown?
At the moment, I'm full of dreams about the book I just finished because I'm rewriting it to send it off to the publisher. Fingers crossed that she will like it. So that's what I'm dreaming about these days.
And does it make you sad when you let go of the book? I'm just trying to squeeze the last ounce of stuff that is.
Does it make me sad?
Do you get
no
sad?
I'm always happy to launch them off into the world and get on with the next one. It's sort of talking about the books that are already out. It's sort of like talking about your ex-husband while you're married to someone else. So it's like, no, I did used to love writing The Bookish Life of Nina Hill, but now I love writing this other book. You know,
because
it's
you have to have the passion, because it all has to come up again.
Right.
It's not being fickle. It's being amazing. Oh God, it's so much. Abby, can we keep in touch in the world of the bookie?
For God's sake, come to Los Angeles and let me take you out to a lovely, lovely lunch.
Yeah, a free lunch and you is perfection.
I would love to.
And
it would be an honor.
And there are all these questions because people are going to listen to this on other days about your playlist and your tips. So, and people have been, I hope, inspired, because this is fast and furious in a car park with someone possibly passing or failing their test. We don't know.
I know. I'm so sorry. I had a whole plan.
But you
did
a whole
plan for being elegant and
you met us, and this is such a joy to read. I'm so glad. I would give it to anyone. I love it.
Good.
And so
all the books, all the shortlisted books are amazing though. They're all fantastic.
All different. I'm not a judge.
Super different.
But all so different, and this is an exciting time for us all, and I'm just love you. So we now press. Will you press goodbye for what do we press?
Yes. How do I do it?
Press.
I don't know. I think I X out.
Press end. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say goodbye then.
People are saying it's such a fun interview. Okay, Abby.
Thank you. And again, I'm sorry about the traffic, and wait, you want to see palm tree? There's palm trees
my
here.
best interview.